What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Battle of Central Europe. This is going to be the last set of the day. We got Virtus Pro Polar currently doing pretty well in the tournament overall. I believe 3-1 is their score, whereas Coalition of Cool Killers, I don't think I've seen them around, although I have seen some of these names before. Don't really know too much about them, but we'll see. I think they are 2-2 right now, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, here on HeflaTV, Hitbox 1 channel, I'm going to be Mike Loris, joined by Coucher for this set, and man, I just hope that Coalition of Cool Killers turn out to be cool killers.
Well, to be honest, they have tied up both of their series against Hellraisers and Moscow 5 both. So that already is a feat in itself, really. I mean, nobody knew what to expect of them, but winning at least one game against those two teams is exceptional. I mean, Hellraisers, they also had a draw with Virtus Pro just now. So if that's any indication, this might also be a draw. But I'm just happy to see an Ogre Magi finally get into the pool.
I know, it's about time, right? I mean, he's been banned out consistently, which is, I think, deserving for the hero. He's powerful enough to warrant a first ban, but still, I would rather see him than see him being banned out. Like, Brewmaster, Razor, I'm okay with seeing these heroes banned out because they're not as fun as Ogre Magi, but shit, I love me some Ogre. And now Coalition, well, they're going to take the puck, if nothing else, to deny it to DK Phobos, also opening with a rather early Slark, so Coalition right off the bat with very slippery heroes.
Yeah, they most likely or most certainly have slippery heroes, and not only do they get the puck for themselves, they also deny that hero for VP, which they have ran in every single of their games before this, but whoa, a faceless way to slip through here as well. It's definitely not a popular hero these days, but in shutting down the Slark and puck, it's going to be excellent probably.
Yeah, it doesn't really get much better than that pause effect from the Chronosphere. You can't pounce out of it, you can't pact it out. Even if you're phase shifted to begin with, you're probably not going to be phase shifted for long enough to keep yourself safe. And they are probably going to set themselves up for a Witch Doctor pickup, I would imagine. Faceless Void can put a little bit of damage in the Chronosphere if the Chronosphere is well placed, but it's not really the huge amount of burst that you really would expect. VP, they're going to ban out the Scarith Mage, so it is an indication that they want to go for Witch Doctor, but unfortunately, CCK, they're right on top of that.
Well, we'll see, man. We will see. I definitely like how, or rather, CCK started the draft at the very least. So, support, of course, getting banned. Just can't say I'm surprised by VP. Although Scarif Mage was something that they could have used themselves as well quite nicely. So, what do you think VP is going to go for? It's just Ancient Apparition now, unless it gets banned, of course. I mean, Ancient Apparition also pretty excellent against Slark. No health regeneration.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It is definitely a hero to consider, although Enchantress I don't think was near that kind of level. Ancient Apparition is still really good right now for Virtus Pro. Would go, I guess, with their polar theme. But the support that did go through is the Lich, and Coalition, they're going to slap that one down as their kind of defensive-ish support. You can't really expect that many rotations out from the Lich. So maybe Coalitions, they're going to play this a little bit slower. Or maybe they just are going to take a hero that they think VP are likely to take as well. That's also a possibility.
It might be, and well, I don't know what VP are going to go for. They haven't been running the craziest strats so far. Maybe just some dual lanes that you don't see all that much, but they've had rather standard just drafting throughout most of their games. Not only in this tournament, just overall before as well. Their lineup, of course, has changed a little bit, just because, well, some people leaving their team. Scandal has just been lost in action, I think. I'm not even too sure, but well, we'll see what VP go for. There are plenty of heroes that do synergize with this, although most of them have been banned already.
Yeah, the Witch Doctor being the real big one. I think Ancient Apparition is pretty good. Like, it works well with Ogre Magi as a support duo, and then you get additional value out of shutting down a Slark, additional value with the Chronosphere. It should be a pretty good one, and for Coalition, looks like they're going to go for, I mean, with that Lich pickup, nothing too out of the ordinary either. Still, I'm a little bit concerned about this Slark first pick. It is a very difficult hero to play around, and I think VP have picked up the hero to play around it in the Faceless Void. Still, if you pick up a Slark this early, you're kind of trying to base your entire draft around that hero. And is it working so far? I don't really see it coming together, although we are only 3 picks in, and VP, they're taking their sweet time for their next one. Maybe they want to pick up someone with a little bit more surprise. A quick blink initiation with a stun, something like a Centaur, could be just what you need if you're going to surprise and kill off the likes of Puck or Slark.
And it's really hard for them to draft. I'm not too sure if they didn't expect all those heroes to get banned out or what, but they do go for an Ember Spirit. So I guess something like an Elder Titan also could be possible for them to follow up. That of course would mean that two melee, or rather it would be four melee heroes altogether plus two melee supports most likely. So it would be pretty horrible in that sense, but Disruptor will be the pick for CCK. And that's a pretty excellent hero, just Glimpse, Faceless Void back, Static Storm to try to deal with the Ember Spirit. You do need some form of initial lockdown though for the Ember Spirit just to get the Static Storm going. And so far, Coalition, well, the Silence of Puck maybe will be enough, but they don't have any hard lockdown.
Silences are certainly going to be very nice against Ember and Faceless, but yeah, they, as you said, have very few lockdown. And yes, it's a Lina game. I don't know if this is the best game for Lina, but Laguna Blade is pretty good against Slark. That's all I'm going to say.
I mean, Lina is an excellent hero. I'm just so happy to see that in general. Ogre Magi and Lina, I think, is a combination that I've mostly seen when Lina has been around anyway. So, I mean, Ogre Magi 1.5 seconds stun. Doesn't matter if it's level 1 or level 4 Fire Blast unless you're getting multicast. But Fire Blast into Light Strike Array should be plenty of setup, really. And like I said, it works out just excellent against Slark. Just burst him down before he gets Shadow Dance, gets anything done. Same for the Puck as well, really. So, I don't mind that pick. And, well, of course, Slark and Puck, they're pretty elusive and most likely will both go for Blink Daggers. So they might just get next to Lina and kill him first. But we'll see.
That's always a possibility. I mean, it is a fragile hero. As much damage as she can put out, it's going to be likely that she is going to be blinked upon by a Puck or a random pounce from a Slark, and then Lina just is at the mercy of those heroes. But it's an aggressive lineup for VP. And versus the Disruptor Lich, two of the more defensive support heroes in the game, it's going to be up to VP to make things happen, and Coalition of Cool Killers will just be forced to kind of just sit by and accept what happens. They'll react, and they can't really make things happen by themselves, at least not as effectively as VP can. Now the Templar Assassin as the last pick is going to make the Ember Spirit pretty secure, as this was the matchup that we saw previously in an earlier game, TA versus Ember Spirit. And, well, last time the Ember Spirit, I believe, had a Lich backup. Not going to be the case in this game, but Ember Spirit can hold the lane by himself, more or less, and if you're talking about waiting for an Ogre Magi Lina to come in, then that could certainly put the pain down. Now a Gyrocopter as the last pick for VP. They have quite a few things to mess with Templar Assassin. Maybe it's going to be a missile-heavy build. I think that's a little bit more popular nowadays. Again, more burst damage, more stuns. Can't really go wrong.
Plus, it also works against the enemy's target, so even Meld won't help you just escape the stun at the moment. At least not a homing missile. And Rocket Barrage also decent-ish in dealing with the refraction charges, so they're gonna have two things to try to get through it. Oh, Ignite as well from the Ogre. So it's not bad at all. Okay. So they want to play game 2 tomorrow, and they need a few minutes anyway at the moment because they've been playing 4 games in a row as it is. I guess CCK, maybe they're not as used to just the hectic schedule of so-called professional teams.
I mean, VP, they definitely have been around the block, I would say more so than CCK. The schedule, I don't think, is going to be that important, but I don't really want to tell them that the schedule isn't important, because then they would... that's not exactly the thing you really want to tell them. But CCK, they're definitely fatigued. I would have been okay if they just said this in the lobby, like, hey, can we wait 5-10 minutes because we just ended? I'm pretty sure VP would have been okay with that, but now that the draft has already been through, it seems like a kind of a weird time to request this.
I have to agree with you there. It's every time such pauses happen, I just get reminded of when the draft happened with him in Neski game, and just straight after that draft there was a pause, and they're like, "Oh, our food delivery came, guys. We're gonna eat now," and me and HeflaTV had to fill in like 15 minutes of time because they were just eating at the start of the game after the draft. That was really the weirdest pause.
I don't think I've had a pause as weird as that. That's pretty weird. There was the pizza thing the other day. I don't know if... was I with you with that, or was I with Grandis?
I think it must have been with Grandis.
Okay, well then, like, some team, I don't remember what it was, they just said, like, hold on, we have pizza. And then they just, like, were eating with, like, one hand, they said, and they, like, full paused a couple minutes after, and they're like, okay, I can't afford to eat like this anymore. And then we just sat there while they ate pizza. And the entire game was talking about pizza for, like, during that pause. They're like, wow, I want pizza. This sounds really good and stuff like that. So that was pretty interesting. But it looks like I don't know. I don't know if we could get into that request to play game 2 tomorrow. I don't know. I'll just tell them to talk to the admin.
Oh man, talking about food was definitely a wrong move to make. I'm just getting hungry as all hell all of a sudden, thanks to that. But it's only the last two games, maybe even only the last game, depending on if Virtus Pro were fine with a postpone and the admins. But for personally, I hope it's not, because that's going to mean that tomorrow is going to be even longer, and most likely they will want more postpones after that. So
Yeah.
usually delays just give birth to more delays.
It's a snowballing effect for sure. And that's actually going to be today. We have another game that was supposed to be played yesterday, which is going to be played today.
Oh, they played it already.
Oh, they already did?
Yeah. Plus, they also played the tiebreaker already after that.
Oh, well, that's convenient.
Album Sheet won 3 games in a row against Commander Minus. So Album Sheet, they won Group A with Commander Minus taking the second place, Lions the third, and House of Gamers the fourth.
Man, it's kind of disappointing. I loved Command Minus. Their Templar Assassin play was sick. They're my boys. I love them.
They definitely were. So maybe we're gonna have a Group B favorite like this with CCK, depending on their just performance in this game. Although I have to say it's going to be hard against Faceless Void in general. I mean, they have some pretty nice synergy. Sleight of Fist into it. I mean, I guess you don't need the Chronosphere setup for Sleight of Fist, but it's still going to be cold down to follow, just easy Light Strike arrays and whatnot.
Something tells me that we're going to be paused like this for a very long time.
Don't
Just have
say
that
that,
feeling.
man. Don't say that.
It's too late. It's already been said.
Out of sight, out of mind, man.
Yo, VP, they are not messing around right now. They want to get this game done.
I would as well. I mean, it's not like they want for it to go on endlessly. Let me check some schedules. I don't think they have any games today after this. I hope not. Otherwise, they might just be screwed with the scheduling. But I doubt there's anything else coming out for them. But it's still like maybe you're planning some real life stuff. I don't know. I have no clue how much real life stuff anybody has, because I know I myself have very little of it.
Yeah, real life is just a luxury that we don't have time for. But who knows? It's hard to schedule around these tournaments at all. But either way, well, the group standings aren't really solidified just as of yet, as it's still currently anyone's group or standing, I guess, to take, with 3-1 being the best for VPP, CK 2-2. Of course, there's another day of this, so there's that to consider. But yeah, yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Well, there's all in all quite a lot of this tournament still to come as well. There's going to be 8 days of the group stages. We're at day number 3 at the moment, so still quite a long way to go. And then the playoffs as well, where every single team will still be in. Lower bracket will be best of one, I think, all the way through. Maybe like the loser bracket final or the consolation final will be different, but mostly best of one. So that's going to go a little bit faster. But all the 16 teams will get into the playoffs in one form or another.
Yeah, it's just a matter of winner bracket or loser bracket, and where in the winner bracket, if at all. So, yeah, it's a very extensive system for figuring out where teams are going to be going. And so far, no response from CCK. I sure hope they're not waiting on one of our decisions, because it is not our decision to make. We don't have that type of power.
I think they would ask us if that was to be the case. The worst thing I'm worried about now is that VP Polar, at some point where CCK, if they're not responding at all, they're just going to unpost the game. That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah, and that'll be a little bit of an advantage for sure. Had to go AFK. No one has to go AFK. Come on. But,
well, in some cases you do, but
yeah,
at
I
least
guess.
give a legit reasoning. It's like, oh, I had to go AFK.
His
It's like,
house
oh,
is on
sorry,
fire.
my parrot is on fire. Got to go.
My cat is on fire. I'm being robbed. I got swatted. You know,
Yeah.
easy excuses.
There are just some are actually pretty brilliant. The most I've seen of them have been when I played World of Warcraft actively, and then just random like looking for group or whatnot. You see the weirdest excuses before people leave. It's like some things that cannot happen, but at least they're creative.
I remember seeing like screenshots or whatever where people are like, "Hold on, can we pause. I gotta go AFK. There's an earthquake, and that was in like Southeast Asia or something where there actually was an earthquake. So it's like, wow, that's a pretty good excuse. I would buy that one.
Well, if it's really happening, then it would be pretty sick. It's like, oh, there's an earthquake, but screw it, man. Game's more important.
If your internet can hold out through a really large earthquake that you have to pause for, then that's some pretty impressive service.
I guess well, yeah, it depends on some things, but if you're in Southeast Asia, then it's definitely impressive if your internet
Yeah,
holds.
for sure.
Oh God, this pause. I don't understand like overall the lack of information given by teams in general. Like I almost every team just doesn't care at all. They just pause. They say like sec, minute, something like that, but nothing else. They hardly ever elaborate. It's like this guy is gonna be gone for like 5 minutes because he needs to do X things. It's never like that. I guess they want to be mysterious.
Yeah, because if you say that someone's gonna be back in 5 minutes and it takes 7, then oh my God, we're not admins. I don't think these people realize that we're not admins.
Well, I'm gonna have to get BenQ on this man.
You got it?
Yeah, I'm talking to him.
All right, cool.
So yeah, let's see if he's gonna react or whatnot. Would be so much easier if admins would actually join the games as well, but yeah, so.
There was one before. I guess there's another game going on right now, which is actually still in the draft. So we're still ahead, technically, even with 2 minutes.
Okay, so one admin, or well, a semi-admin, not the actual like tournament creator or something. He's AFK, so I hope Bex is actually back because he went AFK earlier. I have no clue if he's back or not.
So everyone is AFK. CCK are the admins, confirmed?
Confirmed, must be. And this just blows big time. Looks like everybody is AFK. Or can't do anything about this. Oh God, oh God. Why does it always have to happen with like last series, the last game of the day? Everything was going so smooth for the day. Man, we just got screwed over. So the craziest thing is that CCK, they were the ones who in theory want to postpone game number 2, but if they delay out this game for a longer period of time, then there's going to be no chance for them to be able to play game 2. That's the weirdest thing here. Okay, one admin is responding. Okay, pause like 5 minutes max. Okay. So, in theory, there are 3x 5-minute pauses max. Oh, so there, guys, they're back. And we're gonna have to start timing as well. Mike, are you even here, or am I just talking to myself now?
Oh, can you not hear me?
Oh no.
Hello?
Yeah, now I can.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Did you have your Skype muted or something?
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. I must have like knocked the mute button or something, but we're fine now because nothing happened. And I told you that CCK were the admins.
The stream might have heard you anyway, probably.
Who knows?
Maybe
It doesn't
not,
even matter. It was a pause. No one's gonna remember that.
Yeah, so at least I know the rules now. It's like 3 times 5-minute pauses, and if it's like 15 minutes pause, just straight off unpause and GTFO.
Sorry, guys. Had 2 really long games.
They weren't all that long. It doesn't make sense because we're not that far behind schedule, or at least we weren't before those pauses here. But they said that the games went longer because Moscow 5 was late for the second series, which means that for the second series to end within 2 hours or even slightly less, it means that the games were rather short rather than long. So man, some detective work, and you know they're lying.
Oh god. Oh my god.
Yeah,
Guys,
that just happened.
we were in Lux, and they said it was fine for Lux, but you
Or two 0 wins out of 10 games or something.
know, yeah, that was we experienced that. It was pretty insane. It
I mean,
was
of course, for this group stage is a little bit different because two teams are invited, so they're the so-called stronger teams by default, in theory at least. Whereas the invited teams, they are kind of expected to lose 2-0. So for like a joint Dota league where Division 1, the teams are on paper a little bit more even or something.
well, we'll see. Hopefully it's I mean, ties are boring. No one likes seeing ties, but I don't know. We're actually in a game now, and I think we're not going to remake. Although I probably shouldn't have said that. We do have on VP on the Radiant. We got Mag, who's going to be playing the Faceless Void with a lot of restoration down on bottom lane. It is going to be DK Phobos once again on the Ember Spirit prepping for mid. We got Rain on the Lina with Lil on the Ogre Magi. That leaves Illidan on the Gyrocopter. This is actually one of the more dangerous aggressive tri lanes that you could run.
Let's get this far.
Yeah, it's absolutely sick. They get the sentry immediately as well, and they double damage rune to spawn. Oh man, CCK, they're gonna have to be so careful. But for them, Suki will be playing the Disruptor, man. Love the name. Stip is up on the Slark, leaving mid lane for Keck on the Temporary Assassin, with Vilik on the Lich to support the dual offlane, as Flawlex will be on the Puck. And Lich Puck just dual offlane. Not the first time we see it today, I think.
Yeah, it's decent enough. Up against Faceless Void, they will pretty much 100% lock him down, but I think that's fine for VP because they have top lane on lockdown as well. There's really nothing that CCK can do to get close to this one until the Gyrocopter runs out of double damage. Then they can get close, but they'll still be in quite a bit of trouble. Mag is actually going pretty deep against Vilik and Flawlex. He does have a lot of restoration, as I mentioned earlier, but those tangos and the salve will very quickly be burnt through if he plays a little bit too fast and loose. And over towards mid, Phobos and Keck are going to just be wailing on each other. It should be, for the most part, an even lane. Kills are definitely possible going either way, so both of these players have to be extremely careful.
I mean, if both players are really experienced, I would even give the slight advantage to Temporary Assassin, and I've seen most Temporary Assassins actually just start out by maxing out Meld first, just to make sure the physical damage, as actually Mag takes a lot of damage on the bottom lane. He's going to be able to escape for now, but this double range dual lane with more or less endless spam of the Frost Blast from the Lich as well is going to be so hard. But Temper Assassin, I'm interested to see if she also just starts maxing out Meld, because Ember Spirit's biggest weakness is physical damage.
It's not really a rare thing to do, just max out Meld instead of Refraction if you know that your Refraction isn't going to last long, especially against like a Venomancer. It's not the most common, but when it used to be a lot more common, that used to be the build, so wouldn't be too surprised to see that happen. Up on top lane, they have had a little bit of a sentry battle that VP have actually won. There was a D-ward from CCK that ultimately failed, and well, that's going to be a little bit upsetting for them, as top lane vision is almost completely in the VP Polar's hands. They will not find that many kill potential opportunities just yet. Really, they need something better than an Illusion Rune on Lina in order to get that to happen, but if they find a single opening, there is Ogre Magi level 2, and that's the golden level for Ogre Magi, up to level 6, of course. He could get one stun, and then another stun is guaranteed to follow, and then there is no Rocket Barrage. There's Rocket Barrage. So the kill potential is certainly there for VP. The only problem is getting close. And even though they may not be getting close, they're also keeping everyone from CCK away as they do go for the Slark. No Rocket Barrage just yet. They're going to set up a missile instead, and that's not really going to result into anything.
The missile isn't even going to connect. A few right clicks from Suki as well as the tower. I mean, homing missile gets stronger, not only because it will do more damage as you scale it up, also it's going to take more hits to destroy it. Bottom lane though, Mag might lose his life, never mind, gets the time walk away with a few right click hits to spare. Willik just couldn't connect with the Frost Blast, otherwise would have been an ensured kill. Top lane, another homing missile onto Tip. Illusion for Rain, maybe gonna go and tank it up. Pounce over the tree, so Tip, he's gonna be fine. Nice pounce. But they just have to be so damn defensive, they're not getting anything accomplished.
Oh, now they're going to go in. Gyrocopter does not have any Rocket Barrage mana, but doesn't matter. Suki caught out with a Light Strike Array, and Fire Blast is going to be brought down in a hurry. And now Tib in a corner. They know he's there as well. There is now Rocket Barrage mana. They're going to turn around for Vilik, who's somehow teleported in here. Why are you doing this, Lich? I don't know. There's nothing up here for you. Tib still alive, has a pounce out, but is going to get ignited. And then LSA. Dragon Slave to follow right into the Gyrocopter's hands. Double kill for VP. on their gyrocopter and a triple kill for the team. That's a nice little win up on top. It should have only been 2, quite honestly. Don't really know why the Lich teleported in there.
Yeah, not only does he lose his life there, suddenly Mag has a slightly better time, although he's completely out of regeneration already. But Faceless Void at least can get some last hits without being just afraid for his life. Illidan, Thunderstruck up. I mean, if only he had mana for Rocket Barrage. Pounce from Tib as well, doesn't connect of course. So nothing comes out of that either. And Lina gonna come back in, has a Clarity, maybe gonna give it to Gyrocopter even, although Gyrocopter probably is gonna lose it pretty fast if he wants to get last hits.
And Gyrocopter has 1200 gold. It looks like it might be a Midas build for Illidan. I think I would have liked to see upgraded boots. Maybe. Oh, there we go. Speak of the devil. Upgraded boots for the Gyrocopter. And now, even though he may not have mana, and he does actually, he will be able to put out some serious damage. Oh no, they know where Rain is. And Rain, he has an LSA, but it has to land on 2, and it won't. It'll only land on 1, and now the Slark going to give chase. Ogre Magi is in the area, and Lina will buy out before she does go down. Losing no gold there, but still Lina with a very aggressive play, and doesn't really pan out for her. Tib gonna get the Dark Pact out, get rid of the Ignite. Now the Rocket Barrage is gonna shred down the Slark. Needs a couple more hits. The Flat Cannon, 1 more is all they need. There we go, Slark down. That's a trade that VP are more than happy to make, as getting us kill on the Slark at any stage is gonna be fantastic, let alone in exchange for your Lina this early on. Gyrocopter is getting really big, and Rain, oh, he's returned. LSA, he's looking for it. Gonna decide against. He is going to get his ward dewarded, unfortunately for him, and still going pretty deep. This Lina's got to be a little bit careful, but on bottom lane, Flawix, he's getting aggressed upon by the Faceless Void. Doesn't actually have any phase shift, but he will be fine for now. Mag is really getting bailed out by this top lane. Like, the fact that CCK had to rotate so many heroes up there is saving Mag this bottom lane. And Phobos now going to start a fight with Keck. He's going to jump out with one of his remnants, but he does have Lina coming in. This is going to be a very tough kill for the Lina to take with the help of the Ember, especially if they can't lean the chains, but they will. And now Keck is going to get beaten down. He's going to turn around and land a big hit onto Phobos. Now teleportation coming in. It is going to be that Puck throwing out an orb, though the Flame Guard is there. Will be burned through in a hurry. LSA onto Flawix, but a melt is going to kill off the Ember. Maybe at the trade of Flawix, though. Is that really worth it? I'm not sure if it is. It's a 1-for-1 trade, core for core. And that looks like it should just about be it. I think everyone's going to calm down for now. Illidan's still running the top lane, though, even though he doesn't have any supports.
Just homing missile spam onto team non-stop. Might go for another one as well. That would make Slark just have to go all the way home, maybe even, depending on how much Villik can right-click it. And there's, never mind, Villik is going to be the target. Another TP from the Disruptor this time around comes in. So they're going to take care of the homing missile. Yes, they are. But man, just quite a lot of action early on. Nice to see. TK Phobos did lose his life, of course, but Puck, he's not yet level 6, and Mag just gets even more free time on the bottom lane. Suddenly, up to 26 and 6, he surpassed the Puck in last hits.
Yeah, all it takes is just a little bit of time where Mag is, first of all, holding the Chronosphere, so Flawix has to be very careful about that. And second of all, Mag doesn't have to worry about the Lich messing with him any longer. Illidan up at top lane is going to take quite a bit of damage. Is there a glimpse? There is, but he's not in range, so Illidan looks like he's home free right now, although if he doesn't run straight back, he might end up getting glimpsed. You know, here comes Rain, as well as the Ogre. If they land a single stun, this could be the death of CCK's lane once again. Illidan, not too healthy, but he does have stick charges plus 1 more tango. He will get juiced up back to full in no time. And CCK, I don't believe they know the Ogre is up here. They have no observer wards in the area. And Villik, oh, he certainly doesn't know the Ogre is here. Surprise, Ogre. Now the LSA, Dragon Slave available. They're not going to use it, just going to wait for Lina to kill steal with right clicks instead. They also get the Ignite onto the Slark. He's going to go pretty deep. Suki is here as well, but I think this is just another target, quite frankly, for VP, as Tib is very, very low. Is it another tower dive time? Lil's going to lead the way. 10 armor Ogre Magi is going to open up with a Fire Blast onto Suki. LSA to follow. Rainbow of TP is coming in. Disruptor is going to go down first, however. Dream Coil onto 2. Rain and Illidan going to take quite a bit of damage. They're going to turn around with Rocket Barrage onto Flawix. Mel's going to kill off the Gyro. Then the Lina's going to fall right before she kills off Tib. 9 HP, the Slark survives, and Lil is going to walk away from that after actually killing off Flawix, the Puck, with a Fire Blast, the Ignite, I assume. Lil should be fine to escape this. Keck doesn't have that much more mana, so Lil will be able to walk out of here. But still, trades upon trades, 2 for 2. That time not going the best for Virtus Pro, but still the Ogre is level 6, 8 minutes into the game. This guy is going to be hitting like a truck if he multicasts enough.
And Mag still just farming up bottom lane. Looks to be even going for a Hand of Midas on the Faceless Void, just to kind of secure late game supremacy, I guess. Between the Gyrocopter, Faceless, and the Ember Spirit, late game should be theirs. I mean, Temper Assassin and Slark, as good as they may be, they have their limitations. So we'll see how well it's going to pan out for them. Temper Assassin still number 1 in network, so that's a good sign as well. Has a haste rune, can maybe go for something with it. But man, VP Polar, they've been going so aggressive this time around. Didn't pay off for the top fight. But considering that the temper assassin and the puck came in with the dream coil, getting the one counter kill on puck was more than I would have expected for VP.
This might be lulling Illidan into a false sense of security, however. Suki unfortunately disconnects right before he's in range. Does a gyrocopter see this disruptor? He does. So that's probably like the worst possible time to disconnect. Like literally it does not get much worse than that.
Oh, so...
This game is going to get bloodthirsty.
Yeah, it's... I'm not too sure how long the first one lasted. I guess it could have been about 10. It definitely wasn't 15, I think.
It didn't seem like 15. 11. There you go. Illidan's keeping track. I like Illidan.
Oh, God. Well, at least the game is looking good for them. So I think if the situation was reversed and CCK had this early advantage, I think VP Polar, they would be just a little bit more out for blood. Oh, wow. So, we've had 8 minutes of game time for about, well, together with the draft, I think this game has lasted for, I'd like to say 40, 35 minutes.
Man. This is going to be fun.
And
Oh, dear.
thank God that neither of us has to do this solo. It would be just crushing. There's just, not much to even talk about.
I would have been in the wait screen already, just like, oh, sorry guys, game's paused, just chill. Hold on. Just going to play some music so I don't have to talk to myself for another 30 minutes. It's going to get to that point, though, where VP are just going to unpause, and then CCK don't have the rules to back them up.
It's going to be a little bit sad, but, man, he's disconnected, so it's somewhat understandable, because the first pause, nobody was even disconnected. They just needed to AFK, whatever that means. So, I guess we can check out the items, which there aren't too many of, but Slark, he has himself a Ring of Bazzi. Not an usual Slark item, although I support having at least one Ring of Bazzi or Ring of Aquila on your team. It's just such a good item to have. It's like Drums and Urn, Mech, just great items.
Yeah, and it's also a budget item, and he's not been getting that much free time to farm. He needs cheap items to help him fight. Ring of Basilius is certainly one of those items. I don't think anyone else has anything noteworthy, just Power Treads or Venom on Lil. Love seeing Ogre Magi's go for this build. It's the most aggressive build you could open up with. And aside from that, we got absolutely nothing, so perfect time to pause. I guess the good thing about Suki disconnecting, and if they do, in fact, unpause VP, it's not impossible for CCK to micro this disruptor. All they need to do is just Glimpse, and then Kinetic Field, and Thunderstrike, and then right-click. It's not that much, and like TA is very far behind a creep wave, so she could do that easily.
What time did the boss start at? I guess it's like counting 4 minutes. How close is that guy?
Well, the stream is 2 minutes delayed, and the stream is paused, so it's at least another 2 minutes.
Well, the stream in theory is like about a minute and a half-ish.
Is it?
Because, yeah, the stream, I mean, for the settings, it says it's a 2-minute delay, but in reality, it's only like a minute and a half.
Those liars.
Yeah, I mean, when I first found out, I just tested the Hitbox stream with a Join Dota League game. So I was streaming it, thinking it's a 2-minute delay. I didn't even just deem it necessary to check out exactly how much it's going to be. Because for Twitch, if you set the Twitch delay for about 2 minutes, it's going to be a 2.5 because it's going to be like 30 seconds anyway, even if you're not running any delays. Mm-hmm. But here the 2-minute delay was actually minute 30. So the admin was like, oh, your stream is minute 30, put it to 2.
What the hell? That's so weird. Like if you put 2 minutes delay, like I saw the settings, it says delay 2 minutes. Oh, here we go. Unpause. Let's see if the AFK Suki can actually get this glimpse off. He will. Right into the clutch as everyone else. Kinetic Field is going to completely miss, but it's going to be... It'll take quite a bit of damage. We'll drop the call down onto Baguette. Tib is going to take 2 missiles, but will survive. No LSA over the trees, and Rain gets the kill. But now him and the Ogre Magi both in quite an awkward situation because here comes the TA. Has a haste rune of all things, and Rain is completely screwed. Gonna throw an LSA. Will land, but it won't do much. Now Lil, thinking about going for a multicast onto Villic. Will land it. Kill for the Ogre Magi, but now he's facing up against both the TA and the Disruptor. He's not quite there yet, but the meld damage onto the Ogre knock him down pretty big. And now Lil stuck against the Kinetic Field. One more Fire Blast, a couple more hits onto Suki. Not going to be able to get the kill. It's still going to be a 2 for 2 trade rather. Over here on this top lane. Here comes Rain once again. Has level 4 and Disruptor maybe she could depend on him not moving because he's AFK. Someone's definitely microing him. I think it's going to be Lich, but unfortunately for Suki, he's going to run straight into the Lina. LSA easily landed up, and then the Dragon Slave. Right click is all you need. I think that's the death. Yes, it will be. Now missile onto Tib. If they land this missile and the call down, he needs to pounce out, but he can't. Needs to pack, but he can't. He's going to survive a little bit longer. Missile should be able to kill him off. He does turn and surrender himself to his fate. Ilden drops pretty low, but he will salve up in the end. Rain looking for a blind LSA onto Villic, will not find it, but they're collecting a hell of a lot of kills up on top. Level 5 Lina only versus level 8 Ogre, so Lina getting the short end of that stick, but either way, Ogre is going to be hitting like a truck. TA coming out as a big winner as well. Blink Dagger now up on Keck.
God, this... Well, homing missile too strong. It is level 4 as well, so... Lich, it's like you want to run into it so it would do the least amount of damage, but then again, if one hero is next to it, you're just gonna be screwed. So a little bit unfortunate, and all in all, the situation, just one player being disconnected, it's... I cannot be pumped up about casting such a game where it's 4 versus 5. Even if you can micro him, it's still not gonna be the same.
Yeah, for sure. It's, I mean, I would have liked to see how powerful CCK would have actually been without having a man down, but top lane Tib, once again in a little bit of trouble. Call down will miss this time, so we'll be fine, but this is definitely not an accurate representation of how well CCK can play, but that being said, rules are rules, and though teams might be inclined to bend them, you really can't break them, or else all hell breaks loose. So I mean, I do appreciate VP Polar just sticking to the rules. I mean, that's something that's been a problem in Dota for a long time.
I think this could have been still prevented. First of all, CCK, like you mentioned earlier as well, they could have just said it in the lobby like they need a couple of minutes or whatnot. And then to follow up, just give proper reasonings for your pauses. If they're actually legit reasons, I mean, admins can bend the rules a little bit. But now Lil gonna get glimpsed back, so they might get another kill, but a nice stun out to kick. He didn't get the melt hit properly, I think. And now Lil, he actually escapes. Homing missile gonna chase down Villic as well. Oh, the stun is down to half HP. They don't even need too much more. And nice stun out to Suki as well. TK Phobos gets the Searing Chains kick. Is he gonna go down as TK Phobos? Never mind, he's gonna go past him. They pop the dust, but don't follow up. Well, they get 2 kills anyway, so it's fine.
Yeah, it's a nice little win once again for VP. Their gyrocopter is one of the more active gyrocopters I've seen in any game of Dota. Granted, a lot of that action has been happening conveniently in his lane, so he didn't have to actually work very hard for it, but still he's getting quite a bit. Rain, oh, he's in quite a bit of trouble. He's going to find himself a Templar Assassin. 1 hit, 2 hit, needs 1 more. TA is going to get slowed down by the chains. Now the dust as well. Phobos is going to be a pretty large brick wall against Keck, and now they have the dust on her. Laguna Blade, Templar Assassin stands no chance. There goes the TA. If she had Refraction, maybe, but through Ignite and Flame Guard, that's not going to happen. It's another kill for VP Polar and CCK. I mean, they're not playing too poorly now that they actually have to micro the Disruptor. Like, I'm sure many other teams would be performing a lot worse, but it's still less than ideal for them. Even without the Disruptor being here, they're not getting that much done.
Just look at the graphs as well. You can see exactly when the pause happened. Oh, the Dream Coil onto Illidan, so they're going to get the kill. I think the cooldown will do absolutely nothing. But he's still alive. There's the Static Storm. They're going to use the chain first as well. So they get the kill in the end, but Villic will lose his life. As will Suki. I think Mag finally going to join the fight. Beautiful double chrono. Floex will lose his life as well. The last right click finished to bring him down. Or managed to bring him down, so... But looking at the graphs, you can see exactly where the pause ended because it was flatlining and what happened after the pause.
Man, that was a pretty long pause, my god. But yeah, it's still just VP. They've taken pretty much every single trade in their favor in some way, shape, or form. Even Mag, showing his face now, has picked up the Hand of Midas, is on top of the net worth after being completely shut down in lane versus the dual lane. And hey, look at that solo kill from Rain using Laguna Blade over the trees. Slark did not see that one coming. I did not see that one coming. It's just another kill for VP. They're firing off on all cylinders, and CCK, what they have going for them is the fact that they have a Templar Assassin who's holding on to quite a bit of net worth plus a Blink Dagger. She could definitely make stuff happen, but no one else on her team is going to be able to help her. Like, pretty much, literally, nobody else.
It's really sad that it has happened this way, although CCK, they definitely stood a nice chance because after the pause, they got a decent fight to be honest after that, microing the Disruptor. But it's of course pretty bad for their team morale as well. And Disruptor still hasn't reconnected, so At least I guess the unpause was for a reason, because otherwise we would have had like an extra 5 minutes of pause or so. At least, like minimum. But I mean, Virtus Polar, they were winning the lanes anyway, so this might not have made a huge difference in the end, but who knows, man.
Well, Illidan's going to put himself in a dangerous situation. He's going to get glimpsed back, will not snap the tether. He's taking a lot of damage. Now he's going to drop to Flawlux, although he might get he's going to survive for a little while longer. Keck's going to finish off the kill, but it's going to be at the trade of the Disruptor. Finally, a good trade for CCK as long as no one else dies. Lil still in the area, going to try to TP out, will make it at home safely. VP, they once again get jumped. And Illidan, though he does have a Helm of the Dominator, he's not tanky enough to withstand all of that damage, especially once Keck jumps in. So VP getting a little bit in over their head. They will take the tier 2 tower off, the tier 1 tower rather, off the map. But, you know, if Rain was there, if the Ember Spirit was there, it could have easily been VP, I think, cleaning up, as they were down quite a few heroes.
And Rain, he's going for a straight of Aghanim Scepter as well on the Lina. Wants to have that magic piercing or magic immunity piercing from the ultimate. Extra damage, of course, as well. I mean, it does. Or never mind, no extra damage these days anymore, I guess. But
that's pure. So it, like, kind of does do extra damage.
Oh yeah, that's true enough, yeah. So, a crap ton of damage anyway. If you get the Aghanim Scepter, 950 pure, it's nothing to laugh at. And yeah. Mag, he has the Chronosphere, and he's gonna go for Flawlux. Chronosphere, yeah. I mean, phase shift is all well and good. Oh, never mind. Laguna Blade.
In the meantime, top lane, Illidan running away from Keck. Missile is going to connect on the TA, but they don't have a true sight. Here comes Lil, multicasting down that TA. That was even after the Slark got solo killed by the Gyrocopter. Now it's going to be Villic on the run. There is another missile available, and if it's set up, oh dear, I think Lich just might be dead. He's going to put a lot of distance between himself and the missile, but that might end up biting him in the ass. Just enough mana for Rocket Barrage, and Gyrocopter is going to close the distance. Missile, oh my god, almost one-shot kill to Lich. That's going to be yet another kill for Illidan. 1,400 gold, 9-4-10 on this Gyro, and everyone else on this team is doing very well on top of that. This is not looking good for CCK. Honestly, with 4 versus 5, I wouldn't expect anything different, but still, this is a like desperately bad situation for CCK.
At least they're not tapping out, so they're fighting until the bitter end, or at least close to it, because it's pretty bitter already. And the worst thing I think about this is that CCK, they wanted the game to postpone, and even if this game ends, we have no idea at all what's going to happen to game number 2.
If the game ends and Disruptor still isn't here, then I'm like 80-90% sure that the game won't be played. Because there's a difference between like getting a game started 8 minutes in and then losing a player. You can't really prepare for that, as opposed to knowing that your player isn't going to show up in the first place. I guess a stand-in is possible, but really they don't want to be doing that. Illidan up on top. He's once again going to be fighting up against the Slark, who is 0-6-3. He's going to run straight into Lil, take a multicast straight to the face. Now missiles being set up. Lil still has another Fire Blast available shortly. Missile's going to stun Tib one more time. They have a call down if need be. Not that much mana on the Gyrocopter, but these two heroes can definitely fight 2v3 very easily, might I add, especially if Lil gets a multicast. And a level 11 Ogre, you can count on a multicast happening some point. Rain on the bottom lane might not be as lucky. He's going to draw the phase shift out of Flawlux, but here comes Keck. Lena's going to go down. That's going to be a very easy kill for CCK on the bottom lane, but it's only a Lena, and top lane Tib is going to get called down. Boom! Missile's going to kill off the Slark for the 7th time this game.
And DK Phobos wants to chase down Flawlux as well. He has a double damage rune. Nice silence going for the TP out. Not going to be enough though. Flame Guard burn plus the right clicks. And HeflaTV HP2 chat just made my day, because there as well it's like, guys, call Korets as Korets. Well, he said type like call Korets. So our channel was not the only one getting lectured.
Hey, it's knowledge. It's important to know how to call these people correctly. Like for Pain Gaming, ADR, 4DR, there's no way you're going to know that. Mid lane though, Keck can take a multicast, will have it all absorbed by the shield, but now Chronosphere onto 2, 3 in fact, as Villic walks straight into it from the back. Gyrocopter going to lay into them with a Black Cannon. Chain Frost will be thrown onto Mag, will not bounce a single time. The rest of CCK, they're already dead as Tib jumps to the high ground. I don't know how safe that's going to keep him, however, because here comes LSA, Dragon Slave, and Illidan's going to find a multicast just for good measure. That's like a 5-for-0 trade, I think. And now the tower. This is looking not too good.
Not too good is kind of an understatement. It's looking just horrendous for VP Polar, or not VP Polar, what am I saying, for CCK. VP Polar, this is probably like as good as a game can look, almost, because you're nearing both 20k in net worth as well as XP as a lead. Although I think they've had such a lead already once today. I think it was against Moscow 5 in the second game, probably. So they're not in unfamiliar territory.
Think of how different this game would be if we were playing with Dream League rules and someone on VP Polar had to leave. So much more even.
Well, it really depends. I mean, what's the actual reason why the one player got disconnected?
Yeah, I know.
Although by no means is it equal. I mean, even if it's gonna be 4 versus 4, it really depends on like what heroes you yourself have, how much micro, how much like skill management you have to do. But there's the cooldown. Will hit 3 heroes. Tip. He's gonna drop so low just from the AoE damage. Shadow Dance keeps him alive. Illidan does actually lose his life. Can they get some more? Lil gonna get slowed down. Mag, he's gonna go in. A few right clicks. Gets the one counter onto the disconnected target. Epic winning. But what I want to say is that the heroes and everything, the lineups differ so much, so it cannot ever be fair. It's like, oh, okay, you're probably gonna give away a support. That's most likely a given. But let's say one team has a like player like No Tail, just who's excellent with microing anyway since he's played Meepo and whatnot. Whereas just a random team loses a hero and just so many variables that have to come into it.
So what you're saying is Dream League rules as a joke is an absolute joke?
I mean, to be honest, it's I think better than 5 versus 4 because that's completely useless. So I think it's like making the best of a bad situation, but it
old
still
BattleNet
sucks.
days will just be like 1 leave, even fight, 1 leave, 4v4, and they would actually do that sometimes, although probably not too often. Lil's gonna get jumped, and Templar Assassin, I mean, she's doing her best. She is holding down the fort for the most part, as best as she possibly can. 8-3-1. Just her team is just so far behind. Suki's getting chased down by an angry Faceless Void in his own base. Not gonna be bailed out by Phlox, and Mag, he has a time walk, though he doesn't have a TP afterwards. The Jukes, he's gonna dodge the silence. Now he's gonna dodge a coil. Mag is running down to the south, but he doesn't have any more mana. He's still sneaking around. Okay, they have to know where he is. There's no way that he could hide right now. They don't know where he is. Is Mag really going to survive this? Oh my god, he's gonna TP out.
This is just ridiculous. How the hell did they not go and chase this? They must have known that he's completely out of mana, or at least pretty much close to it. So, Searing Chains, Connect and Tip, homing missile to follow cooldown as well. He gets the pounce out of it though, so he will stay alive. Laguna Blade, oh god. Filthy, Aghanim Scepter finished up, level 2 but doesn't care. Illidan, one more right click, no kick, doesn't get it, got Searing Chains up. Tip wants to chase people down, not able to do so. Man, this Laguna Blade was filthy.
Man, that's why we should see Lina more often, because no other hero can really do that. Except for Lion, who can do that, but that's about it. And she will have another Laguna Blade, another 40. In the meantime, Phlox getting chased down by Phobos. Here comes Tib. Gonna put a little bit of damage into Rain, but not too much. As Ket comes in from the back, will get bashed down in an instant. Oh my god, I can't even speak. Probably a good thing this game seems like it's almost over. Rain is gonna get killed off by Phlox, but Lil is going to find his vengeance. That's a 5-for-2 trade. It's once again VP getting the slight upper hand, if I could even use the word slight here. 39-14, this game is over, and I think this set might be over for today at least. It doesn't seem like CCK can fight any longer.
I mean, I'm not sure what's up with the Disruptor, whether he's like, oh screw it because they unpost anyway, I'm not going to reconnect, and he's actually here, or he literally had to go completely. I'm not too sure what's it all about, but considering that schedule-wise, this series was supposed to start at 20, which was 1 hour and 16 minutes ago. I mean, one game lasting 1 hour and 16 minutes with the draft and whatnot, it's not unheard of. So, I don't know.
Well, guys, I'm going to put up another lobby, and we'll see if we can figure something out. Although it doesn't seem like the second game is going to be played. I will let you guys know as I know. Regardless, this might be the end of the cast, so if you enjoyed it, please be sure to hit that follow button, and, well, twitter.com, facebook.com/HeflaTV is where you're going to find a little bit more of us. I'm Mike Loris. I've been joined by Coucher for these games, and, well, maybe we have one more, although it does seem very unlikely. Regardless, I do appreciate you guys tuning in, and I hope to see you next time, which is just going to be tomorrow, same time, 16 CET. Thanks for watching, guys. Later.